consume us. See, the adversary knows. He studied us. We are the most studied people on the planet Earth. No other nation has been studied like us. Nobody. They know, sisters, how to get you. They know how to attract you. They're like Casanovas. They come and hit you in your most intimate areas without even touching you physically. See, they put TV shows, another one of those weapons that they use. They put TV shows in place. I've actually sat down. I don't watch television. Just so happened one day I happened to see a show. And I sat there and I watched it. I don't know where I was at. And on this show, the wife was actually telling the husband what to do. Not working together. Telling him. A visitor had came from out of town. And the visitor didn't have anywhere to stay. And the visitor was, as they call, a geek. And the wife didn't like his appearance. Know nothing about the guy. He was supposed to be a doctor. Some of you may have seen it. I don't know. And he stayed with the husband in his home. Well, he walks in the home. The wife says, no, get him out of here. Oh, he plays the role. The roles were switched. He became the woman. He said, well, why do I have to have him leave? Get him out of here. I don't want him in my home. And if you keep him in my home, we're leaving. Well, sisters, why am I saying this? Because we think it's entertainment. We watch these kind of shows and we think that it's excitement. It's nothing. And we might even get up and we don't even pay it no mind. But you know what? Our minds is what we must protect. This is the key. As they say, a key, the doorway to your souls. And these right here. And they know that if they play these two together, they can affect our behavior. We get up from those types of things and we walk away thinking that it hasn't affected us. Subconsciously. That's correct. The weapons of mass destruction. And they don't have to drop a physical nuclear bomb to destroy multitudes of people at one shot. All they need to do is open up the media, the television and the radios, the billboards that you see on the side of buses everywhere you go. Sex. You don't believe? You don't know? Sex. Sex. And you know what the problem is, family? With us? Why the sisters in the back of the room? Why they sit in the back? Why do you go to every other temple? They either got the sisters on one side, the brother. It ain't about the Creator. Not really. You know what the real reason is? That's right. To keep the men's focus on what the lesson is about. But why is it that way? Because we are sick. What do they do with a horse? When he's running a race, they put blinders on him, right? You see the horses, they put blinders on him, right? When he's carrying people, so he can't focus on nothing but that one thing. That shows you that our minds, we're not even stronger than a horse. Because we have to go through physical separation to keep our women away from us so that we can be focused and not distracted. What I'm asking you to do, you don't have to do that, but remove the blinders. Remove those things, those barriers. And I'm not asking you to just sit your women up in the front, but I'm asking you to pay attention to them. Because we walk around with those blinders on. We don't want to hear what they got to say. You understand? There's only one thing that they're good for from us. And that's all most of us see. And sisters, you have been affected too. Because there's only one thing that we are good for from you. Besides paying your bills. That's if you got a man that does it. Because most of them want you to pay his. Did I lie? No. Did I tell something? Why y'all brothers ain't saying nothing? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go. We have to give back these weapons to the adversary. We have to give them back. We have to give back their spirit. These little books they got out, stop reading them. Stop watching these television shows. Don't listen to this music. Leave these things alone, because if you don't, you're going to fall. You're going to stay in this cycle. These video games that they've given us, we got them in our homes. We spend 3, 4, 5. Next thing you know, it's 8 hours done pass. You playing the video games. Did I say something else that's not true?
No.
And it's funny when you see an 89-year-old woman playing the video games. It's something. But ask that brother, that sister, how much Torah did they read or study in a month?
Went over their head. Just
a month. Give them a whole month. 30 days. For most of us, the only time we crack them books open is on the Shabbat when we come here. See, I ain't your average teacher. I'm just going to tell you. I'm not going to get up here and recite everything like protocol tells me. I'm on the Most High's clock.
Bring what you know.
And I'm going to do it the way that the Father instructs me to do it. You like it, you don't. But that just shows the intelligence that you have within you. If you get angry with me, that's okay. Doesn't matter. Somebody's going to hear what I have to say. Somebody. Because I realize that this is not a game that we're in. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I'm not here for that purpose. I'm here to teach the Creator's people and to help them to return back unto Him, to serve Him. Because I understand that one day we're going to have dominion of this earth all over again. And I understand that where it has to start is right here with us. Stop looking thinking it's somebody else. Ain't nobody else going to do this but us. We got to stop making this a religion and become to make it a reality. Because we read religion every Shabbat. And some of us 3 or 4 times throughout the week. We practice religion, but we don't allow it to become our reality. And that's what we have to begin to do. We can't play with the Creator. We have to live in righteousness in everything that we do. The adversary, as I said before, he studied us. And he knows that sex is a big thing. That's a driving force in the male and the female creatures. You know how he know? Because he put it there. Through these weapons, he's attacked us. So now we know, sisters, there's some things that we have to do. Some things that we have to get rid of within ourselves. You know, when an order come out for you to do something and it's in righteousness, don't, well, who the, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I think you got to start listening to me. You know, don't just try sometimes, sister. Try to show love and respect towards your man.
That's right.
Now here's the sad part. If your man has lost respect in your sight and he's still your husband, forget the past. And this is wisdom that I'm asking you to do.
Amen.
See, men have a thing about them, but they're easy to forget. We don't forget. But we easy to move something to the side and keep on moving. But sisters, there's something about a sister. They call it a vehement thing. It's hard. It's hard for a sister to move something to the side and act like it didn't happen. And keep, but sisters, you gotta find the strength to do it.
Wisdom, bring wisdom.
You have to find the strength, however hard it may be. No matter how deep you gotta go. No matter what you gotta grab. No matter how many of them girlfriends you gotta cut off.
That's right.
You gotta do it, sisters. Because if you don't, we're not gonna go. We're not gonna move forward. We're gonna stay stagnant. And the only thing that stays stagnant is death. Life, move on. So we gotta get past that. Those are my issues with the family. I said there's 2, that's just one. Those are some of my issues with the family between man and woman. The other issue is the most powerful issue. The most powerful problem that we have that I know today, we have a problem with the Creator. That's both male and female. Father says we worship Him with our mouths, but our minds are far from Him. The Father says that we are cunning to do evil, but to do righteousness we know not. We come to places like this every Shabbat. Many of us, some of us come when we feel like it. One maybe out of every 2 months. Most of us come, many of us come almost every week. We come to places like this and we meet and we practice Shabbat. We do what we call law. And what time is it? Anybody know what time it is? Sundown. And before it's completely, we gone. We got our coats on. We ready to roll. Oh, you know, my brother, my sister. You know what I mean? Now this is real. We ready to roll. We ready to go. We don't all of a sudden the lesson, I don't care how good the lesson is now, it's boring. You get to looking, you don't want to let nobody, you don't make it too obvious. Start rounding the kids up. Come on. Shamah, get them shoes on, boy. Start rounding, you see the sun ain't down yet, it's just getting there, you ready to go. Because you got business to handle after the Shabbat, boy, you're going to have some fun. Is that right? You're going to go have some fun. You're going to do some, this is boring. This only requires daylight hours for you. You get ready to go do something special now. Something to bring you joy. You're ready to go mingle with the beasts. You get ready to make mad, passionate love with the enemy. You don't realize this, sisters. It's the truth. It's the truth. Brothers, you the same way. You haven't passed that. You the same way. Many of us, we can't wait till the Shabbat is gone. So we can run out there and hit the night, the streets. Do whatever it is we do through the course of the week. We can't wait till Shabbat go. To go be with the beast. That's our true lover. I began this by saying we got a problem with the Creator. We don't like the laws He's given to us. We don't like the fact that we're here in this captivity and we can't eat certain things because them pork chops be smelling good. I'm serious. Oh, they do. Some of you might say no. Them things be smelling good. When I was a young boy, my mom fed me pork. She fed that to me. And my favorite, one of my favorites was pork chops and applesauce. You ever had pork chops and applesauce? Well, some of you have been blessed not to, but I used to eat pork chops. That was one of my favorite things. Pork chops, and when you get down to the bone of a pork chop, that little pointy part of the bone, you will suck that dry. That's all we knew. That's all we knew. We don't like the fact that we can't eat the pork no more. We don't. We don't want to give up the fact that we can't go from woman to woman or from man to man. We don't like that we got to dress a certain way. I had a conversation with a sister about wearing pants. She says to me, there is no scripture in the Torah that says a woman can't wear pants.
What book is she reading?
Y'all know that's a comment. Well, I ain't argue with her. In so many ways, she may be right. Because pants was actually made for women first in history. If we really check history, I'm not here to start no debates. So please don't think that I am. But check it out. They was made for women first, and then it became a man thing. So she says to me, There is no law in the scriptures that say you can't, a woman can't wear pants. I said, sister, you're right. In my understandings, there is no law that says a woman cannot wear pants. Now, I'm bringing this up again because I'm trying to show you that we have a problem with the Creator. We don't like the fact that we have to dress a certain way. So I says to the sister, okay, would you think that it would be appropriate and acceptable for me to walk around with a muscle shirt? I didn't even get that far yet. She said, no, I don't think so. I said, why? I didn't violate the Creator's law. I said, do you think it's acceptable to me? And brothers, I'm just trying to get truthfully how I said it to the sister. And I had to put it to the sister this way because I had to touch something within her to cause her to see how a man feels. I said, would it be acceptable? Do you think it would be acceptable for me to wear a pair of jeans and around the back pockets cut out all the material and let my flesh show? I said it a different way, but I'm trying to give it to you so you can understand. Would that be acceptable for me to do? Being a prince and the teacher of the people and who I'm supposed to be as an Israelite. Would that be permissible? Because I didn't violate Torah if you go for the letter of the law. I said it's the perception. It's what we give to the people. It's how we present ourselves as holiness, as righteous individuals. We are what the rest of the world is supposed to look to for an example of how to be, quote unquote, God-like. And sister, I can't prove that to you through scriptures that it's not right for you to wear pants. But how does it look? How do you represent a holiness? How do you represent a righteousness except in the way you act, what you wear, how you dress being what you wear, the foods you eat, how you speak? What other way is there for you to represent holiness? Now, if all those things that I just mentioned to you is just like the rest of the world, where's your holiness? Because holiness means to be holy means to be separate. So if you're doing these things and you're just like everybody else in the world, you wear what they wear, you eat what they eat, you talk like they talk, then where's your holiness? So that was the way that I presented it to the sister. And truthfully, family, we have a problem with the Creator. We truly don't love the Creator. For many of us, we've never met Him. And those of us who do have a great portion of His Spirit within us, we still need to be reintroduced unto Him to help us out of this condition. I'm about to wrap it up shortly. And I hope that I'm not taking too much of your time because I know that the club's open like, you got to catch that number 65 bus that come past the corner at what time? See that? All right, so here we go. Just a little while ago now, and I'm going to say this to you, not in the ego, but just in confidence. I'm the most holiest person I know. Must be crazy. Who you know holier than me? Bring it to my attention because I want to know. Because if I find Him, I'm going to grab hold of Him and I'm going to walk with Him. Understand what I'm trying to say to you. That's the confidence that we all must have about ourselves. See, because that's the way that you know that you're doing your best to walk right before this King. I'm full of sin. I'm full of a whole lot of shortcomings. A whole lot of them wrapped up inside of me. A lot of things I'm dealing with on a daily basis. But to me, I walk as close as I know of any man toward the Creator. And I would pray that you all feel the same way about you. That's my prayers for you. So in all the righteousness and holiness that I thought I had was something that I was missing, that I didn't understand. I thought I had it. And I'm saying this because I want you to search yourself. There's always something, another level that the Father wants to take us to. How do I present this to you? I guess I give it to you the best way I know how. Not too long ago, I was incarcerated in prison, in the Philadelphia prison system. And that was an experience that I want to share with you. You know, we think we're strong. We hold on and we maintain best we know how. But when certain things happen to you, it shows you just how strong you really are. I'm vegan. I don't eat meat at all. I do a lot of fasting. That's why I'm so skinny. Brother saw me today. He said, look like you gained a little bit. I forget who the brother was. Looked like you gained a little bit. And I'm surprised. I don't know how much I weigh. Maybe 160 maybe. But I don't eat meat. My whole life is different from the average person. And also from a lot of Israelites. But it shouldn't be. The jails are designed for common folk. The jails are not designed for vegans. They're not designed for Israelites. They're designed for the common people. I was incarcerated for 3 weeks. And the adversary tried to make it that I never got out. But who I serve. Y'all don't know how good it is. I'm telling you. You never know until you experience it. I'm trying to take you somewhere if you just let me. And I promise you'll enjoy it. I want to try to cause your mind to see me and you become me in this institution. Now I'm vegan. I don't eat meat. And again, the prisons are designed for people who do. Christianity and Islam, those pagan deities flourish in the institutions. So I had no one to sit down and, fellowship with in the ways of the Creator. My food will come to me. And I might have ate on a daily basis. The size of that, black-eyed peas once a day, and an orange. Sometimes it was lima beans. Sometimes I'll get a little portion of grits. You can take a straw and suck it up. So literally I'm starving. Physically starving. I must have lost. I went from maybe 185 to 160 within those 3 weeks. Maybe a little less than that. And in jail, they don't let you have combs. So my hair was just like done. The haircut thing would have been nice, because the jail system is designed for common folk. You want to get a shave, they give you razors and they let you look good. They do nothing to promote this way of life when you're incarcerated. So when you think you're strong and you think you're doing something right, the Father got His ways of showing you that you're not. That you're not. I prayed when I was incarcerated quite often. 3 times a day I pray on a daily basis. When I was incarcerated, I prayed a lot more. And when you need something from the Creator, your prayers seem to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many of y'all ever needed something from the Creator, but when you do, your prayers seem to get stronger. Yeah, more sincere. That's what I mean by stronger. That should be your prayer on a daily basis. I've learned that. So I'm questioning the Creator all this time while I'm incarcerated. Father, why am I here? And I don't understand it. I'm your servant, and if I'm living right, why am I here? Why are you allowing me to suffer the way that I'm suffering? Time to start trial. Trial start. We go in, we pick the jury. The reality of being away for 30 years began to sit in on me because that was the mandatory sentence. for what took place if I was found guilty. I wouldn't be here today. I thank the Father for it. The trial starts, and that reality begins to hit me that much more. So I begin to lay down and make prayer every day after I came back from trial, on my face, in my cell, on the floor. And I did something that I hadn't did in a long time. I cried. And I'm not ashamed to tell you. I cried to the Father like I hadn't done it in years. You ought to try it. You ought to try it. Because that's when it's real. And the Father recognizes this. To shorten the story, comes the day of deliberation. We're on Friday. The day of deliberation. The jury goes to deliberate 10:30 in the morning. They hadn't made up their mind by 3:30 that afternoon. They came back with a question, and the question was, can we find somebody guilty of one thing and not find them guilty of the whole situation? That was the question. The judge came out and said, yeah, you can. You can do whatever you choose. So he takes me back in the cell, this little holding area that they got, while the jury is in their room deliberating. I had already got my answer from the Creator, that I was going to be found not guilty. So I go back in my cell, started crying again. When I called it to mind what the Father had told me, I said, Father, you didn't say I was going to get found guilty of anything. I said, that wasn't your promise to me. Your promise to me was that I was going to go home free, not guilty, on all counts. Don't ask me how. Jury couldn't make up their mind. Judge sent them home. They got all weekend to think about what took place. All weekend. So I'm really anxious and I'm really worried. And I go back to my cell and I do some more crying. And this ain't no punk stuff, because I ain't got punk in my blood at all. None. This is about righteousness. This is about a connection between a man and his king that has made him a promise that this is what it's going to be. But yet it don't look like it. Monday morning, and let me share this with you. I don't profess to be a prophet, but I'm going to tell you how the Father deals with me. Call it what you want. This is how He deals with me. Before something serious takes place in my life, the Father reveals it to me. Usually in a dream. Not verbatim, but just about. All along while I'm crying, I'm asking the Father, you never gave me my dream. And it wasn't being revealed to me, so I'm really afraid now. I know when I went through one method, you said not guilty. That you was going to cause their lips to be a stumbling block before them. That I would be freed. So I knew He said that. But at the same time, I had not the dream that He said that normally takes place when something pertinent is about to happen in my life. All the way up to the deliberating on Friday, I never had the dream. And that was my request to the Creator. Where's the dream? Where's the dream? Every day when I went to court, they woke me up at 3:30 in the morning to go to court. Every day, without fail. Sometimes I prayed that they would miss my cell. But they came at 3:30 and woke me up. Court! You ain't got to be to court till 9 o'clock. They wake you up, get you ready, search you, put you on the bus, search you, get you off the bus. Oh, just many things that you don't want to ever have to go through. Monday morning comes around. I called home first and I asked my family to all fast. Everybody that was supporting me in this cause, I asked them to fast before the Creator this day. No food, no drink, no nothing. Let's just fast and let's ask the Father for the result that we want. Monday morning came around, 3:30 came around, I pop up out my bed, look at the clock, I see all the guys lining up for court, nobody's knocking on my door. So I'm like, wow, they must have forgot about me. Good, let them forget. I'm scheming in my mind, I'm going to go get fired my lawyer because I thought I lost. I'm going to fire my lawyer. I even wrote a letter to give to the judge why I wanted to fire my lawyer. He didn't do this right. He didn't do this right. So I'm upset. I'm hurting. I'm scared. For real, for real. But that's what you do when you're afraid. You panic. 6:30 come around. I'm still in my bed. Nobody's called me. So I went on back to sleep. 7 o'clock come around. Nobody's called me. I go back to sleep again. And all of a sudden, I have my dream. And I'm asleep. Here's my dream. I was running down this long block. And I ran into a wall. The wall might have been about 10 feet high. 2 guys chasing me. 2 of them chasing me, and they're catching up. So I jump over the wall, and when I get to the top of the wall, I immediately put my foot down and bounce to the side on the roof. First guy comes, he's chasing me. He jumps over the wall and missed the wall and falls, and he dies. Second guy's coming, he's running. He jumps over the wall and he does what I do and bounces to the roof. But he's sliding down off the roof like this, trying to grab on. And he falls and he plummets to his death. Then I wake up. And I sat there and I just thank the Creator so strong for giving me this dream. I don't know if y'all understand what I understand. There was no reason for me to still be in my cell at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning after the jury deliberated. Why did the Father do that? Why did He cause them to overlook me? So that He could find the right time to give me my dream. He would not open up my spirit until first I didn't have the proper foods to eat, and a man's mind, his spiritual, is opened when he ain't eating. See how He does what He do? He caused my essence to come alive. Because as long as I'm eating and I'm filled up, there's something about that connection with Him that you don't have. You gotta fast to really hear the voice of the Creator. He caused me to starve, literally starve. And that essence opened up. And I heard Him. And when He spoke to me, He caused that 3:30 delay to be pushed back to give me the opportunity to have that dream. He could have gave it to me at any time, many people would like to think. But He did that purposely to show me that it wasn't nothing but Him. His power. So I go into the courtroom and I'm still a little bit nervous. Even after I had my dream that I've been asking for, I'm still a little bit shook up. And I need y'all to understand this because we're not talking about 6 months. We're talking about my son is 14 when I come home. He's old enough to have grandchildren for me. That's what we talking about, 30 years minimum. Minimum. So yes, I'm a little shook up. And you think you know the Creator, but when times like that come before you, Aki, let me tell you, sisters, let me tell you, you'll really get tested at those times. So we go back to court. And prior to me getting there, the jury had another question that they wanted to ask. So they're getting ready to bring me out. The jury all of a sudden made up their minds. No more question. We got a verdict. They bring me in the courtroom. I'm sitting there. And I'm still not ashamed to let you know what took place. I'm sitting there. They tell you to stand up. Now, to hear my name called out in that courtroom hurt me so bad. I embarrassed the Creator. I brought shame on the name of the Father. And it hurt me to my soul. I had to go home not home, calling the cell my home. When I got back to my cell, that's what I cried out about. Because I realized that I embarrassed my King. I brought shame on the name that the Father had given to His people. We call by His name. And I brought it in a way in which I brought shame upon His name. Not by the reason that I was in jail, but the thing that caused me to do what I did to get in jail, to realize wasn't worth it. I'm not guilty, family. Don't think that I was guilty. I'll open your minds up to that in a minute. I'm not a sinner. When I stand in front of the jury and they call my name, Kezar Dar Benai Yisrael, stand, please. And I just mustered up the strength to stand up, and I'm standing there. And then you got to remember, the tension is running high. They bring in 8 guards in case I acted a fool when I was found guilty. They asked the young lady to read the verdict, and the young lady read the verdict. And she was so pleased to read the verdict. When she read it, on the count, such and such, such and such, how do you find? Not guilty. Such, not guilty, not guilty. Man, like 10 charges. And not guilty on every one of them. And you know what? Yeah, but don't even underplay it because it's powerful. Truly a blessing it is, man. Truly a blessing it is. Now, I ain't take you through all this story for nothing. Give me the opportunity and I'm going to tie it all in. When I heard the not guilty verdict, the first not guilty verdict, my mouth began to quiver. And I tried hard to hold my composure. And when I heard it more and the more and the more and the more and the more I heard it, and when it was done, I was done. And I fell to my knees. I couldn't hold myself up no more. You're talking about joy. You're talking about a passion that just runs. You never know. I'm explaining it to you, but you'll never know until it's you. Until it's your turn. And you feel the power of the Creator just reach down and protect you from the hands of the enemies. Then you'll know what I'm standing up here talking about. I'm not trying to put you to sleep. I'm trying to tell you that this King is real. He is real. And we must begin to serve Him. A whole lot better than what we're doing, man. You know what He took me away for? For me to learn to trust Him. No, I'm not talking about believing Him, because that's what we do easy. I'm not talking about believing in Him. All of us believe Him, else we wouldn't be here. But it's a different thing to harness, to love, and to trust Jehovah. It's different. And all the time I'm scheming, manipulating, trying to figure out how to make this work for my best interest. And somewhere along the way we leave the Creator out of the equation. I don't know how to explain it to you, family, but we truly have to learn, because we got a God problem. We got a problem with the Creator. We don't really trust Him. We don't. We say we do. We come, we dance, we hoop and holler, we shout. But when hell breaks loose in your house, do you bow down and prostrate yourself and truly give it up to the King and move out in His spirit? Or do you move in your own spirit and say, I got this? Because you know, when I was in jail, my bail was $50,000. That's the 10%. And there was no power in my hands. I couldn't lean on my own wisdom. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes the Father got to take you and move you from what you think you got, from where you think your strength is and your confidence really is, and put you in a place all by yourself to cause you to really see Him. We are blessed with the most powerful thing, the Creator, and we don't use it to its fullest potential. This is why we still having problems in our homes, problems on our jobs, problems with each other, because we truly don't give Him the best of us. And I'm here as a witness, because He brought out the best of me at that particular time. For those 3 weeks, He caused me to appreciate life. I have been, as many like to say, reborn. He has placed within me a new spirit. And I only pray that that spirit that I have acquired, that I'm able to transfer some of that energy to you, my family, so that you won't have to go through life-threatening situations to be able to give the Father the best of you and stop playing these games we playing. Stop playing culture. Stop faking Israel. You are heathen, and you needed to get it together. Open up your minds and realize the blessing that it is to be called by the name of the most powerful force in the universe. Jehovah. When you speak his name out of your mouth, speak it with authority. And know that nobody can come and accuse you of any evil, because you're not evil. And you've done away with all the things about you that hold you back from receiving the best that he got. He says to us, serve me, and see don't I open the windows of heaven and shower down so many blessings upon you that you won't have room to receive them all. Then what does that mean? That means I shouldn't be living in poverty. If that's what your condition is, it's something about what you're doing that ain't right. If you're struggling with your nasheen, something you ain't doing is wrong. Something you're doing is messed up. If you're struggling on your job and you worry about this, you worry about these little problems, if you got sicknesses, you got diseases, something ain't right. Ask the Father. Usually it's us that got something wrong with us, not him. He don't make mistakes. We lying to ourselves because we know the evil that we do. I said that when we started. We know what we do. That's what got to stop. And we got to truly get a creator the best of us. He took me away to show me that. Before I left, I was still the best Israelite I knew. Before I left, to me. So he took me, and if I was right, and broke me down to my least molecule, the lowest denomination. Took me as low as I can go. I had to get undressed in front of a man and let a man examine my physical body. You don't understand what I'm saying until you experience it for yourself. It is horrible. Very degrading, but it is horrible for you to hold yourself one way and at the hand of the oppressor have to force you to just surrender to the evil that the oppressor has for you against your own will, because that's what happened to me. But it had to happen for the Father to strip me bare, to raise me back up again, to raise me back up again. And that's all I'm trying to do right now at this particular time, is to help you to avoid anything like that ever happening to you. We don't have to receive the punishments that we receive, family. We all know what we do that's not right. Sneaking out late at night, doing what we doing, picking up this, picking up that, smoking this, smoking that, eating this, smutting this, reading this. We know what we're doing, it's not right. And in the pureness of our essence, all I'm asking you, and I'm pleading with you, family, because my return depends on you, and your return depends on me. And all I'm begging you to do, I'm begging you to live in the consciousness of your mind. Deny yourself of the evil that's taking place in your life. Deny yourself of that. Hold fast to these principles and don't allow it to just be a religion to you. We got enough religions in the earth. We now need a difference. We need a change. The only way that change is going to come is if it comes through us. And I beg, family, brothers, make it right with these sisters. And sisters, make it right with your ish. Make it right. Our families are suffering. And if our families are suffering, then the whole nation is suffering. And if the nation of Israel is suffering, then the whole world is suffering. How much more can it get? How much more evil can come out of this place? Now, gay marriage is acceptable. They won't allow an Israelite man to have more than one wife on the record, but they allow two homosexuals to raise children This world is not going in a righteous direction. It's not going in a positive direction. We got to cause it to happen. So I submit to you today, family, and I'm ready. And I'm so glad that the Father took those 3 weeks of my life to change me. And I only ask that I was able and successful through those 3 weeks of meditation and teaching that He's given to me, that I was successful in transferring a portion of that Spirit upon the family here today. That you all hear and understand and know what is needed, even in your own lives. Go home and make it right. Go home and make it right, brothers, sisters. Go home and raise these kids, these children in righteousness. Go home with the blessings of the Creator upon you, and don't turn back to evil anymore. Deny yourself of that evil, and you will see a blessing right away. Challenge the